Lunatics, the biggest narrative in Terra Luna Classic is Binance. Whether I like it or I don't like it, we have to face it. This is Binance's game. Terra Luna Classic is Binance's game. We're reliant on their burns every single month. We're reliant on their trade volume every single month. And to this point, they've let us down dramatically in terms of, let's call it promotion and recognition, things like that, as Terra Luna Classic has slid down and down and down and down. Now, there were reasons and there were underlying reasons, and guess what? Binance just fixed one of the big reasons. So this is going to be early. This is my estimation, but I have a feeling that the revival of Terra Luna Classic is going to be from some weird places that we haven't even thought of before. One of those places is definitely going to be Binance, and I know many of you thought of it before, but we didn't see it coming in this fashion. So I'm going to make sure you hit the like button. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I know I'm kind of weirding you out probably with like, what is he talking about? Is this dude crazy? Well, the answer to that, yeah, I'm a little bit crazy. So don't get at me. Okay, so this came out 2 days ago. Binance is back in South Korea. Now let's take a step back. Where was Terra Luna Classic developed? South Korea. Do Kwon is the guy behind it. Now, the fact that Binance has moved back into South Korea means that South Koreans can now start trading Terra Luna Classic on Binance again. Binance has completed its acquisition of local crypto exchange GoPax. Now, GoPax will not exist going forward. It will get merged into Binance, but this means that Binance is back and has re-entered the arena of South Korea. Now, only South Korean exchanges are what the South Koreans are using. Wink, wink, nod, nod. I don't want to get anybody prisoned, you know what I mean, by trading in a place that they're not authorized to. You know what I'm talking about, South Korean government. Don't at me. So, and CZ Binance even retweeted this, which is an incredible move, to be fair. And what does it mean? Well, today doesn't mean a ton because it's not just open season on Terra Luna Classic yet. However, now the biggest holder of Terra Luna Classic, who's been out for 3 years of the South Korean market, is now back in the South Korean market. And this is going to add up to a revival of Terra Luna Classic. And the question at this point is going to be, how far does it go? We're going to talk about that too. Before we go further, make sure you sign up for terracasino.io. Create a username. Even if you're not playing actively, do this for me. Create a username, create an account here. Let's get ready to get started because I'm going to be giving away some more money. And every day I do a giveaway of $50 if you go to my live stream and put your @ in there. So it's an easy way for you to win $50. What you do with that $50, that's on you, boo-boo. Do whatever you want to do with it. But this is an opportunity for you to get some free money. And if you're in crypto and you're looking for any opportunity to get some new tokens or to get some new coins, why not free money? Sign up today. Terraport.finance is the place to go for all of your trading needs in the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem, whether it be utility coins or meme coins. They are second to none when it comes to trade volume. $31,000 yesterday, $762,000 over the last 30 days. So they're trading about $1 million a month right now. That's, that's the biggest one out there right now. So make sure that you're signed up there as well. All right, now, we're not going to talk too much about this, but there's a CSM, a collateralized stablecoin module. And it's a LUNC Forex collateralized stablecoin module. We're not going to get too deep into the weeds here, but this is from LUNC eToro Community 23 with an idea about how they can create a Forex model. By the way, I have a Forex partner. And I think that them being on this chain would probably be better. So I'm not sure that there's something that we can or cannot do. I don't know what that is. But this should come up for a proposal at some point, I guess. The LUNC Forex CSM proposal revised the Terra Classic's original vision, this time with real collateral, transparent mechanics, and risk-controlled settings. Scaling. Starting with the European coin. I assume that's going to be the euro. We build credibility through gradual growth and scale outward into global currencies and Asian markets, ensuring LUNC once again becomes the beating heart of a decentralized cross-currency financial system. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. And guess what? It's happening at a perfect time. South Korean won would be a great starting point since Binance is now walking its way back into South Korea. Like, if you're not putting the pieces together here, I don't think that you're paying attention. Now, we're not going to talk too deeply about this. We'll get into this at a later point, but know that this is on the radar right now. As far as meme coins go, Juris up 25%. I know it's not a meme coin. I'm sure you're going to be telling me that at any moment. It's not a meme coin, but it is in this ecosystem, so it's having a nice little surge. Also, cremation, which had a huge run at one point. Now, liquidity matches market cap, which means that, it's basically dead at this point. Not a whole lot of trading going on, I should say. Maybe not dead, but you get my point. Terra also having a little bit of a scale down along with the rest of the broader market, but generally speaking, we're in okay shape. Not great shape, but okay shape. I moved to the 7-day menu instead of the 14-day menu here for validators so that you can see what it looks like, and you can just see that there's a lot coming out at the top and going into people in the lower realm. But there's not a lot of movement right now, which means that all of the pedantic children who want to continue to crush this chain and make sure that it doesn't get anything of value to keep it going. Those people are, they're having themselves a good little time. Of course, I wouldn't name any names about people who actually secretly hate the chain. I wonder if all of these are Jebediah Sheckelstein, if anybody remembers that name. I wonder if that's all they are. Now, let's talk price action, because that's the important part. That's what you want to know. That's what you want to see. We've had a consolidation into the range. We're at a lower low. I don't see any movement that's going to, there's nothing telling me that we're going to break towards the top. The only break towards the top that I see right here comes from the news that we just got that Binance is moving back into South Korea, which is going to create a little bit more interest in South Koreans for this. And it's not everybody. Some people, this is just a bridge too far. They're not going to brook any argument that this thing is going to run or revive or anything like that. Too much risk for them. But for some other people, they see it as an opportunity to get in on something that could have an enormous revival. So with that being the case, the question is, what could happen here? And, the only thing that I can say positive right now, we have to zoom out here and you have to develop your thesis, and your thesis here should be on a daily. On the daily, are you above the 50 or the 200? And the answer to that on both is no. So this is a bearish outlook. Right now, we're not seeing any kind of positive move towards the upside. All we're seeing is continued lows getting minted. Now, looking at it from a longer standpoint right there, you can kind of see that it's just a real downward trend there, and we're not seeing that upward momentum. Now, you might want to make an argument that, well, there's this downward trend right here from here all the way down. I mean, you look at that and it's almost picture perfect, right? Well, ultimately, the question is, can it go in any better direction? Will it go in a better direction? So it's going to take a lot at this point. It's going to take near 70x right now, not 40x like I told you before. It's going to take damn near 70x right now in order for us to get to 0.0027, which was the number that I gave you guys as my prediction for where we are going to go. So we have to revisit that number, and we have to look at it, and we have to be a little bit more honest, because as we zoom out and as we stretch our way through this bear market, we're finding, and by the way, I'm going to say a bear market because we just haven't had the breakout exit velocity in altcoins, but I know it's coming. We just haven't seen it yet. So, you at this point, you kind of have to look at it as if, we're just kind of stuck in a perpetual bear market. When you look at the overall crypto market, then you see up only. So you might say to yourself, well, yeah, of course, we're up only. We're higher than we were. This is not a bear market. This is a bull market. And then I will take out the Bitcoin, and we'll just talk about with Ethereum in here. We're kind of seeing the same thing. We're at or near the top. However, when we take both of those out and we look at where we are, we get this idea that, hey, you know what? It's not so bad. Again, we're kind of breaking out just a little bit. There's only a matter of time before we have that next big surge. You can kind of see that. But when we get into total DeFi, let me zoom out here. We have not had anything happening in total DeFi in 5 years now. Total DeFi has been an almost disaster when it comes down to it. So we can look at the 4-year cycle and we can say, well, based on the 4-year cycle, are we playing out the same way? And the answer to that is no, we're not even getting close. And this is the place where things should have broken out. This is the place where we are. This is the place where things should have happened, and nothing is really happening. If you look at the total market cap, it's 111 billion. The top of the last market was 200 billion, located up here at the top. We are halfway. Again, we are near an all-time high. We are above the previous all-time high by 20%. Okay, we are 20% above the previous all-time high on total 2. Removing Bitcoin, we are within 20% of the all-time high. It gets worse and worse and worse the deeper you dive. Okay, so we have to be looking at this, and we have to say maybe we're just not going to get that kind of money. Maybe there's just too many new cryptos that are out there, and maybe what we've seen right now has been a complete dilution and a lack of respect for DeFi completely. And I'm going to tell you the answer to that is yes, but the but here, well, that's a mighty big but, you might be saying to yourself, which is gross, but also, yeah, whatever. The answer to that is very simple. The Clarity Act in the United States is screwing everything up. We've been waiting for the Clarity Act so that we had guardrails for DeFi in cryptocurrency. And at this point, we found so far, Democrats, they're not serious. They're worried about, they're creating basically, they're literally trying to destroy cryptocurrency, and their list of demands for the Clarity Act, which by the way, already passed the House. It's being rewritten in the Senate right now, and the Democrats there, they're not serious. They're children. And what they're doing is they're saying things like banning DeFi is in their wheelhouse. They're literally, again, not serious people. If you look at it from a Bitcoin standpoint, then you might say to yourself, yeah, it makes perfect sense because Bitcoin is the only thing that matters. Well, that's not true for everybody. And to have a market in which altcoins are no longer considered an asset class, but Bitcoin is not a tenable thing, I don't think, for a majority of people. It doesn't mean that would be great for Bitcoin, by the way, but it would not be great for almost everything else in this market. So the question now is, can that Clarity Act pass? And if it passes, can we then really start to see with the guardrails on institutional adoption? And the answer to that is going to be a resounding yes. That's when we will get the breakout. But we have to get the government back to work, and then we have to see how everything shakes out. So what we're waiting for right now is the clarity. All right, moving on here. Clay, we're going to keep watching this one. This is LUNC to BNB and OPBNB. The multi-chain future starts here. This is the open source yield back burn protocol, potential burn protocol for USTC that allows you to stake your USTC for USTR as a reward and incentive, and allows for the burns of USTC to begin. And most people didn't take it serious, and they just built on BNB. And it's thriving, by the way. While LUNC is dumping, remember, the donkeys that have been voting this down or haven't been serious, and shout out to Leonardo, because he stuck with this the entire time and followed Ceramic's plan. Now, the donkeys that vote no, that continue to kill the Terra Luna Classic chain, they told these people they're out of their goddamn minds. They told these people that this will never work. Guess what? It's sitting on BNB right now, working. Okay, so your validators are a bunch of idiots. All right. And by the way, the ones that I support that you hear me talking about, the Terra Casinos, the Terra Ports, they vote yes for stuff like this. They vote yes for this. The rest of the people, the Jesus is Lords, the Greenpeaces, they're the ones that are killing the chain every single day. They're the ones that are stabbing you, the investor, in the back every single day. All the time. They're doing it over and over and over again. And I don't know what the future holds for that at some point. Oh, by the way, within the next 2 weeks or so, I should have a validator up, because I'm going to enter that arena and we're going to see what happens. By the way, if you guys don't validate with me and it ends up costing me a bunch of money to keep doing it, I won't do it for very long, and I'll just end it pretty quickly because I'm not here. I don't want control. I want you guys to want me to be part of it. I want you guys to validate, delegate with me as a validator so that I can make votes for you not for me, but for you to build, because I want to look after the people who have actually been looking at this chain for the last 3 years, crossing their fingers, hoping for the best. You guys are the voiceless right now, and you need a voice. And I'm going to try to be that voice, and we'll see what happens. And finally, burns are down 445 million, with the last couple days being pretty bad, but we had 100 million on Friday. We had 70 million, 60 million day before, 85 million day before that. So, we're getting some movement around, and that's leading to some burns. That's, the best that we can say at this point. Of course, the weekend's not great times, but chin up, because that South Korean market that's been closed for so long is about to open back up. And we're going to see whether or not Terra Luna Classic has an opportunity to thrive or die. But we're going to find out, because it is a South Korean coin, and it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.